Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a first impressions video of the L'Oreal Pro Glow Infallible Foundation and Concealer and Powder. So if you would like to see my thoughts, a little review, and a demo, please keep watching. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my face, and then while that primer is setting, I'm going to go ahead and read some of the claims about the foundation and stuff like that. So I'm first going to be going in with my Smashbox Primer Water. I just sprayed all my hair. Great. And then on top of that, I'm using the Laura Geller Spackle Hydrating Moisturizing Under Makeup Primer. And I used this in my last video and I'm obsessed with it. I feel like it makes my makeup look so good. And it actually really does like hydrate my skin, I feel. So while we wait for my face to calm down, because it always gets bright red when I put stuff on it. So on Ulta.com, they offer about 12 shades. So on Ulta's website, it says it retails for $12.99. So I'm going to assume if you bought it from Target or Walmart, it's going to be a couple dollars cheaper. You get 1 ounce of product and it is rated 4.2 stars out of 5, and that is from 727 reviews, so that's pretty good. And there's actually not a lot of details like in the description box. It just says benefits up to 24-hour foundation, which I always think is weird when companies claim the 24-hour thing, because nobody realistically is going to keep their makeup on that long. And then it just says the new pro look of long wear. That's literally all it says. So I'm going to go ahead and read the bottle and see if there's any more information. So I actually have 2 shades. I have 202 right here, which is probably perfect for me at the moment. And then I also picked up a darker shade in 206. So 202 is Creamy Natural and 206 is Buff Beige. So I was thinking this one would be perfect for me in like the winter and spring when I'm like pretty pale, and this one would be good in the summertime when I'm a little bit more tan, or I could mix the both. So on the bottle, it claims it's 24 hours again, and ooh, it says it has the oxygenate, I don't know how to say that, sunscreen, broad spectrum SPF 15. I'm pretty sure last time I used a foundation that said it had sunscreen in it, it oxidized on me. Is that what that means? I don't know. And then it says it has a radiant finish for normal to dry skin and it's hydrating. It says pro tip, shake well, dot onto skin in rolling motion for flawless coverage. It says the finish is radiant. It wears up to 24 hours. The coverage is medium, so I'm going to assume maybe it's medium buildable full. We'll see. And then it says the texture is air light. And then it says lasting glow foundation, never dull, never greasy. So let's go ahead and try it. I'm going to do one side as always with a damp sponge, and then the other side with a foundation brush. So I'm going to shake it like they said. I'm just going to squeeze. It's really runny, if you can see. I don't know how much to use, but I'm assuming since it's really runny, I'm probably going to have to use quite a bit maybe. I think the color match is pretty good. It's actually a little lighter, so maybe I will mix, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to start off with that much and then blend it out. This reminds me of the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth. Ooh, I think it blended out really nice. So that's one side. Ooh, I really like this foundation. I hope it doesn't oxidize on my skin. Well, I guess if it oxidized a little bit, it'd be fine, because then it'd probably be like the perfect shade match, because I do think this is a little light right now. It kind of has a smell to it, but I can't figure it out, but it does have like a little bit of a scent. Ooh, I love it. I look super dewy. That looks so good. And I feel like I got decent coverage, and that's pretty much just one layer, and I feel like it looks so good. So let's go ahead and do the other side with a brush, and I'm just going to be using my Morphe G36. And I have a feeling that I'm going to prefer, yeah, I prefer the Beauty Blender side, or the damp sponge. It's like, you know, when you put on foundation a certain way and then you just know that that's the way you're gonna like it. Like, that's how I felt when I was doing the sponge. So let's go ahead and see. Yeah, I don't like it with a brush. Nope. I feel like it's not, like, it's blending out the same, but I feel like this looks more natural, more dewy, as opposed to the brush side. But I guess either or would work, but I definitely prefer it with the damp sponge. And it looks like I'm getting about the same coverage like I did with the sponge, but I do prefer, if you can see, like, I feel like I got more flawless coverage, I guess you would say, with the sponge, and then this you can kind of see like brush strokes. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and blend out this side with my sponge. I think the color match is pretty good. I do think I could probably go up to maybe shade 203 if there's a shade 203. I think 206, maybe after a few more trips to the pool, would work, but I think 206 would be too dark for me at the moment. It looks so good. It looks so healthy. So I'm just gonna go in and put a little bit of extra on my cheeks and my forehead and see if we can build it up a little bit, even though I don't think I really need any more. I'm pretty satisfied with the coverage with just like one layer of it, but I do want to see if it's buildable. So foundation is so good. I can't believe I don't really hear it. I feel like I don't hear like that many people talk about it, and I really like it. So it looks like you can build it up, so that's good. I think I'm getting more of a low full coverage as opposed to a medium coverage. I think if you continue to build it, you could get pretty full coverage. You can see, yeah, so it covered up like those dark spots I have there. It pretty much covered up everything on my forehead. Oh my gosh. This is so, and looks so healthy. Oh my gosh, I can't get over it. Okay, so I'm done applying the foundation. So I definitely prefer it with a damp sponge. I'll probably never use it with a brush unless that's my only option. So let's go ahead and let this sit and sink into the skin and see if we have to set it or not. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull up some information on the concealer. So I'm still on Ulta's website. So for the concealer, it says it's rated 3.3 out of 5 stars and it only has 7 reviews. You get 0.21 ounces, which I don't know if that's average or not because I don't ever pay attention to how much product I get in concealer. But you get to pick out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different shades. The concealer provides glowing coverage for up to 16 hours, sculpt and highlight features while you correct and conceal imperfections. The lightweight, ultra blendable formula allows you to customize your glow with luminous buildable coverage. Then it says up to 16 hours of glowing coverage. We already read that. It's lightweight, radiant formula, conceal, correct, highlight, pro look for long wear. And how to use, it just says apply to conceal imperfection and dark circles, highlight, apply a concealer shade lighter than your skin onto cheekbones, inner corners, bridge of nose and forehead. You can use it to define your brows as well and define your lips. So I've never read that about a concealer, so that's pretty cool. And it retails for $9.99. I think that's a little pricey for a concealer if you ask me. Anyway, so I picked up the lightest shade, which is 01 Classic Ivory. And to me, I felt like this looked a little dark to be the lightest shade. Like, I feel like they need to come out with a fair shade. So I always apply a salmon or pink colored corrector first. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. So I'm just taking my Maybelline Dark Circle Eraser. And I'm just going to apply that how I normally would and blend it out lightly with my sponge. Okay, we're going in. So it has a flat doe foot applicator, but it smells like paint. That's what it is. Like if you go to a ceramic store and you can like buy the ceramic thing and then paint it yourself, that's what it smells like. And it looks like it pulled off the coverage off of that spot. Ooh, I really like the applicator. But see, I feel like the concealer isn't light enough. Like it almost matches my... Weird, it's kind of burning my eyes. That's weird. That's never happened to me before. But I don't feel like the lightest shade is light enough for me. Like, do you see that? It kind of is like the same color as my skin already. So I'm gonna be blending in my concealer with the Morphe E8. I don't feel like I got a lot of coverage. So I really feel like that concealer, for being the lightest shade, is the almost exact shade of the foundation. So I don't really like that because I like a bright under eye, and I feel like now my face to me just looks like it's all one color, like nothing is highlighted. Yeah, so I really feel like that wasn't light enough for me. I mean, I think it would be good if you like more of a natural coverage, I guess you would say, or a natural like color to your skin. Like I said, I prefer my highlighted areas to be highlighted, not the same color as the rest of my face. But I do think it's a nice concealer, and I like how it's looking. I don't think it's full coverage at all. It did say that you could build it up, but I'm not going to build it up because I don't want to be super cakey. But I don't see myself grabbing this particular shade unless they come out with a fair shade, because this light shade is... I just don't feel like it's brightening anything. Next, I'm going to go ahead and let that sit, and we'll see how much it creases underneath the eye. Next, I picked up the Infallible Pro Glow Powder, and I got mine in the shade 21 Classic Ivory, and I thought it was cool. First of all, I really like the packaging. You get a little sponge thing on the back, but if you look closely, you can see that it's two-toned. Like this is more of like a shimmery highlight, and this is a matte powder on that side. I don't know if you'll be able to tell the difference, but I thought that was interesting. So this is the shimmery part of it, and this is the matte part. But I don't know, like I said, if you'll really be able to tell, and I don't know if you're supposed to swirl it around and get both, or just one or the other. I'm not sure. Then on the packaging, it just says it's a demi glow finish, air light texture with highlighter. Back of it says it's a glow finish. It has medium coverage and the texture is air light. It says pro tip, apply all over for a subtle glow, then build up by highlighting key features. So we'll see, and then I'm going to pull it up on Ulta as well. Ulta, it retails for $12.99. That's crazy that a powder is the same price as... Is this supposed to be a foundation powder? I don't even know. It just says Pro Glow powder, but that's crazy that the powder is the exact same price as the foundation. That's a little weird. It is rated 3.7 out of 5 stars by only 3 people. So you get 0.31 ounces, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shades to pick from. Okay, so it says how to use. To set foundation, you're supposed to use the bottom half of the Pro Glow powder to set foundation, so the matte part. Then it says you can use that throughout the day for touch-ups. For all over glow, mix the highlighter and the powder together for a subtle all over glow, and then the highlight, use the highlighter shade to enhance, highlight, and define key features. So like I said, you can mix it all together for an all over glow, or you can do what they say and use just the matte to set the foundation, and then use the highlight to set just the highlighting points. So maybe we'll try that. And it just says lasting glow finish, built-in highlighter, subtle highlight or all over glow, pro look of long wear. So that's all it says. So what should we do? It feels like it's set down pretty good, but I do want to set it for sure. And it is creasing a little bit under my eyes, if you can see. So I'm gonna set my eyes last, and I'm just gonna use my MAC Emphasize powder because I want like a bright under eye. I'm gonna cream contour real quick too. And I'm using my Anastasia cream contour stick in the shade Fawn. And I'm going to blend that out with my Real Techniques sculpting brush. I like to use cream contours when I have like a dewy foundation because I feel like it just looks better as opposed to going in with like a contour powder. I feel like it just makes the foundation more matte, and that kind of like defeats the purpose of wearing like a dewy foundation. And then I always use this little brush here, and it's from this company called My Makeup Brush Set, and they sent me like a whole set of like knockoff Artiste brushes, and this is really the only one I use from the set they sent because I really just like how it blends out my nose contour. So if you guys were looking for this kind of brush, check them out, or I'm sure you could find like another option on Amazon for a couple bucks. Now I'm done with my cream products. I would use a cream bronzer too because that's what I would normally do, but I'm just going to use a powder so we can try out this powder. So I'm going to do what they say and take the bottom shade right here, which is the matte shade, and set my whole face and then go back in with the highlighter. So it's going to be kind of hard just to get the brush in that side. So I'm just using my Too Faced teddy bear brush, and I'm just going to set pretty much the outer parts of my face with that matte one. I think it would be really cool if they sold like the powder thing together like how they have now if you want to use both of them together, but I think it would also be cool if they separated it to where you could buy just the top highlighter shade as a whole and then maybe like the matte shade as a whole too. Like I think that would be nice because putting a brush in this is kind of difficult if you only want one half of it. I'm just gonna hit the high points of my face, so the center of my face. You can see. I don't really see a huge difference between the top shade and the bottom. Well, it did say subtle, so maybe that's why. Okay, so that's what we look like after I used the bottom matte shade on my whole face, and then I used the top highlight shade in the center, and I kind of feel like it just looks the same. So let's go ahead and swirl and get both and see what that looks like. So this is what my skin looks like now after I used that powder to set, and I feel like it took a lot of the dewiness away that I actually really liked. I still feel like the powder left a little bit of glow, so maybe throughout the day when like my natural like face oils start to come through, it'll bring back a little bit more of that glow. But if you wanted to try this foundation and you didn't like how glowy and luminous I looked before I applied the foundation, then I would definitely buy the powder with the foundation for sure. But I think that if you prefer the foundation how it looked when it was all dewy and luminous before I applied the powder, then I wouldn't necessarily buy the powder unless you don't like that much dewiness in your skin, which I really liked it, so I'm kind of disappointed that it dulled most of it, but we'll see how it wears throughout the day. The foundation so far, I give it like a 10 out of 10. The concealer, I feel like I would really like the concealer if it was 1 or 2 shades lighter than the lightest shade that I bought. But it did make my eyes burn a little bit, and it smells like paint. So that's a little weird because it hasn't happened to me with concealer before, so that worries me a little bit. The powder I think is good, and maybe especially for the summertime when you're sweating and you need to blot or like stuff's getting a little oily, then I think this would be good. But I feel like I would only use this for like around my cheeks where I planned on putting other products, other powder products, but I don't think this is necessarily something that I would wear every time I wore that foundation, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my makeup, and then I'll come back and we'll talk some more. Hey guys, so I just finished up my makeup. It is 2 o'clock and I believe we started at 1:30. So I guess we'll just have the call time at 2 o'clock. This is what my makeup looks like on top of everything. Like I said, I feel like throughout the day my natural oils are going to come through, and this foundation is going to look even more dewy, which I'm excited for because I really like dewy luminous foundations. And I feel like all my powders and stuff went on top really well. Like it didn't have any like muddiness or splotchiness. Like everything just kind of glided on top of this foundation, and it's probably because we set it with that powder, honestly. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys everything that I put on my face in case you were wondering. So for bronzer, I used the Sephora brand bronzer in the shade Fiji. This is one of my all-time favorite bronzers. It does have a sheen to it, and since the foundation is dewy, whenever I do like dewy foundations, I like luminous bronzer, blush, and highlighters on top of it. So I chose that bronzer, and then to set my nose contour and my lip contour and all that, I used this little tiny Laura Geller medium shade foundation powder. I really like this for my nose, really like it. And then for blush, I used the Essence Blush Up. This is in the shade Heat Wave. I know it looks super intimidating, but you can see it's not like at all. Like I dipped my brush probably about 3 or 4 times into it just to get kind of like a medium coverage. So don't be intimidated by this because it won't come off like this bright unless you like build it up, obviously. So for highlighter, I wanted like a pinky gold color to go with the blush. So I used MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Beaming Blush. I think it's part of their like new like highlighter collections. I really like this. So for my eyes, I just kind of wanted like a simple gold eyeshadow look. So I took Makeup Geek Sorbet first, and it's just this pale baby pink shade. I put that all over the lid, and then in my crease, I took the Peach Smoothie shade and then a little bit of Creme Brulee. And then all over the lid on my lower lash line, I took this gold shade right here, which is called Glamorous. And then for my inner corner highlight and my brow highlight, I took the shade Shimma Shimma. On my waterline, I have ColourPop Get Paid, I believe, Get Paid liner. And then for mascara, I'm wearing the L'Oreal Voluminous Miss Minga. And then for my lips, I used NYX Suede lip liner in the shade London. It's similar to MAC Strip Down. And then for lipstick, which I might have to put a gloss in the center because my lips are kind of chapped and you can really see it. But I took the Cream Sheen Sweet and Sour, and it's this really pretty like pale orangey peach shade. So to set my makeup or to get rid of the powders, I took the MAC Fix Plus spray, and then to set my actual makeup, I used the NYX Dewy Finish because I wanted to bring back some of that dew that the L'Oreal Infallible powder kind of took away. So right now, this is the finished makeup look. Like I said, it's 2 o'clock, so that's what we're going to do the call time at. When I check in with you guys again, I'll try to be in natural light, even though this is pretty much natural light, but I'll go outside or something or somewhere. I don't know. So far, the foundation to me right now is a 10 out of 10. So we'll see if my opinion changes throughout the day. The powder, I actually really like the powder. So I'm going to give that like an 8 out of 10 because I'm not like a big powder person anyways. And then the concealer, I feel like I couldn't really get a true test of the concealer because it was the same shade as the foundation. I feel like it wasn't light enough for me to really give an honest opinion, but I think the coverage was okay. It's definitely not a full coverage concealer, but it did say you could build it, so that's always a plus. I will see you guys here in a little bit. Okay. Hey guys, so it's 4 o'clock. So I've had this foundation on for about 2, but I'm still like really liking it. And I feel like the last time I felt like this about a foundation was when I put on the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth, and this foundation reminds me a lot of that, except for the Dewy and Smooth is like $5 and this is like $13, $14. But this is what it's looking like so far. Sorry if the lighting looks a little yellow. I'm trying to find like a pretty decent spot, but look how good it looks. It didn't exaggerate any of my lines. Like normally foundation will just seep into my laugh lines, and it didn't do that at all. I really like it. The concealer still looks pretty good. This is what my forehead looks like. So yeah, this is not slowly, but this is definitely gonna be one of my favorite drugstore foundations, like I already know. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this foundation is gonna wear throughout the day, and I'm so happy with it, and I will see you guys here in. Hey guys, so it's now 8:23. So I've had this foundation on for 7 hours and I just ate, so that's why I don't have any lip product on, but it still looks so good. And then when I went to Forever 21 to grab some things, the lady that was helping me into the dressing room kept complimenting me on like how good my skin looked, and I never know what to do when people say that, so I don't know if I should have been like, oh, I'm wearing, you know, such and such products, but I didn't, because it makes me really uncomfortable when I get compliments. I don't know, I'm weird like that, but it makes me feel even better that somebody like noticed how good my makeup looked, because I thought it looked really good, but it's always nice getting like that reassurance, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it on probably until like 11 or 12, depending on what time I go to bed, and I will check back in with you guys then. Hey guys, so it is now 11:12. So I've had the foundation and the powder and the concealer on for about 9 to 10 hours, and I'm still absolutely obsessed with it. So let me see. I still think it looks so good, and I haven't had to powder at all today. I went outside for a little bit, but I didn't really sweat or anything like that, so I'm not sure like how well this foundation would hold up if you were like in direct heat, but I can't get over it. Like I just think it looks so good. Do you guys see all those bumps? I just noticed it, like right here. I wonder if it's from the concealer. Look at that. I mean, there's none on this side, but I definitely know that those bumps were not there prior to me putting on this makeup, but I'm going to assume that it's from the concealer, because remember when I put the concealer on, I told you my eyes were kind of burning and it smelled like paint. Weird. I don't know. I think it was the concealer, so that kind of sucks. I hope it doesn't stay. I've never had that happen to before, so that's kind of making me a little nervous. But if I had to sum up everything, I really like the foundation. I give the foundation a 10 out of 10 for sure. The concealer, I'm a little nervous now because I definitely didn't have all these weird bumps right there until after I applied that concealer, and I already thought it was like kind of weird, so that kind of makes me a little nervous. I might like hop on Google and see if anybody else had a reaction. I do really like the powder, so I kind of take back what I said earlier about not really liking it. I think I actually do really like the powder, so I'm going to continue to use that, but now I'm scared of that concealer, so that sucks. But if you're looking for a new foundation that's affordable, that gives you like a dewy, luminous look, make sure you check out this foundation. It's so good. It is so good. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this review and demo, and I will see you guys later.